welcome back to the channel, fool. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for videos like this.
When I was looking through some of this stuff, I said, holy. After Trump's avatar was killed in a helicopter crash, he was temporarily replaced with an avatar controlled by Elon Musk. This is why Trump suddenly did a 180-degree turn on so many issues like Gaza and Ukrainian dictator Vladimir Zelensky. Now, you know what? Imagine this is true. Now, Musk has been replaced with a masked avatar, and a new Trump avatar is once again taking orders from the real one at Mount Cayenne. So he's in there controlling different versions of himself. I think that is incredible.
That's a boo-boo. Are we serious? Nobody's touching that. Nobody's in that car. What? Huh?
Lions window shopping for snacks.
It's Friday the 13th. You look like Freddy Krueger.
Mamma mia, come brutto! I'm looking like this one with the jumper, but I like the collar.
Hey, would you go check?
Pretty sure there's a guy in this sort of thing. Good use of hands-free, I got my coffee, but see, there's a guy in there that likes to be stepped on. So I'm glad I captured that for everyone. Let's get a few more folks walking on him. I don't know what he's doing under there. And then I'm gonna go step on him for you all, so you could see it firsthand, I guess, right? Well, if he wants to be stepped on. Okay, kind of reflecting on what I just did, it seems like I might have indirectly pleasured someone from my walking. It sounds like I'm doing God's work, but that was also a huge hazard and borderline illegal, so do not condone.
Why is my biggest fears torturing me right now, bro? I don't even know where I'm at. I'm lost in the jungle. My car slid off a ramp. I can't open this door. I can't open that. Like, bro, I'm inside of, bugs fall. Like, bro, I'm pinned. Who, bro, can y'all find me? Like, damn. I need help, bro. I can't open no doors. My worst fear right here, just sitting here on the door. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm hot. This air not working. Can't move. Car won't move. What should I do? Cops is on the way, but I told him I slid off the ramp inside the woods. Like, he is not gonna find me. Just one officer, like, oh my Lord, I need you, because I don't even know how I'm getting out. Like, covered by, I'm not getting the out on this side, bro. Like, get the you right here, bro. Damn, eating it. Oh my God.
What happens when you sit in front of a candle and meditate? Well, what happens is all fires burn at 10 hertz frequency. So when you're looking at that, you're actually syncing your brain to alpha. Did you ever wonder why the gurus go into the Himalayas? The Himalayas actually vibrate at 7.8 hertz frequency. You're actually triggering theta. What that does is it instructs your nervous system to produce GABA. And GABA is a precursor to DMT. So if you want to have your own DMT experience, that's one of the ways you activate it. And that's why people that meditate, if they get into the deeper states, they can have these spiritual experiences, because we're chemically coded for that. We just need to trigger it.
So the radiation exposure that we experienced was for 4 years. We lived up there. They knew when they did the assessment that our air was contaminated, our soil was contaminated, and our drinking water was contaminated. So the water that my food was cooked in was contaminated. The water that I showered in every day was contaminated. Worse, Worse is the fact that my wife had 3 miscarriages. One of the guys that I worked with, his wife had 7. All 4 of my children were born with birth defects or significant health problems. It's not their fault. I'm not saying it's mine, but I brought it home. It was my DNA that was permanently altered from low-dose, long-term ionizing radiation exposure. I am asking that Congress please allow us to get the benefits that every other veteran has earned.
I know. I need my asses on. Because I looked over and I thought my little tiger was sitting here, crouching down, looking at me. I said, I know goddamn well this ain't no tiger.
Bet, bro, we all need glasses.
They are freaking loud this time, man.
Is giving the tourists the real New York experience.
I can tell that
financier.
He wasn't a financier the day I met him.
What was he?
He was a weird guy who didn't seem to know a lot about currency trading. Claiming to run a multi-billion-dollar FX hedge fund.
When you say a weird guy, what made him weird?
Same stuff I've said on Chris Williams. I'm not going to go back through that. Just my point is you're getting a different interview, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to get at is Jeffrey Epstein knew a tremendous amount about my work when nobody knew anything about my work. And he had a pipeline into me that I didn't understand, which is that he was connected to my graduate program. And you can check out the conference called Exploring Gravity.
And hosted a physical workshop called Confronting Gravity.
Confronting Gravity, that's right.
In March 2006.
Yeah, what is Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein is very focused on gravity.
Was it a gravity conference?
Yeah.
It was about gravity?
Yeah.
What the fuck was he doing talking about bloody gravity? He's a financier.
In Scotland, as a kid, we were staying in a castle. It was a spooky castle. We were sitting around playing spooky castle games, like the Bloody Mary stuff and all of that stuff. One of the people on the trip started manifesting, demonic manifestations. So she gets petrified, shaking. So I'm sitting there and I look out the window and it's the Black Mountains. And I see with my eyes, I see this light start to come down the mountain. And I'm just kind of looking at it. This crazy stuff is going on over here. I can tell as it gets closer that it's fire coming out from a horse, and it looks like Jesus riding on a white horse. So I'm sitting here seeing Jesus riding directly, like with my eyes, not like in the spirit or whatever. Here is apparently evil. Here is apparently good. I started getting a little bit freaked out. So I kind of look over and I'm like, hey, you got to get out of here. Jesus is coming. And, you know, you're on a mission trip with kids. They're like, yes, Jesus is coming. And I was like, no, he's coming through the freaking window. Yeah. You know, and so I look over and then he jumps, and it was like a Ghostbusters scene where the spirit sort of dissipates as he jumps into the room. She screams out, and then it's over.
This is a store. Yes. How can I? I want to go inside. Make it? No. Hello. I don't know if I fit.
How do they even restock?
Yo, I'm in my room and I literally could not go to sleep last night. I wake up and I open the window. I think it's safe to say this is why I couldn't sleep last night, you guys.
Welcome to LA, ladies and gentlemen. This is how they get power for their homeless camp on the side of the road. And they're doing it right. They got a supervisor, they got a worker, and they got a apprentice. apparently they're wiring up their little shelter here. So good for them. That's some industrious people.
Union approved.
No, I have enough shit to take care of. I don't need you too. Get out of my garage!
I want to die with you. I want to die with you. I want to grow old with you. I need everything. Please, I need you. I need you. Please marry me. Please, through the sacred bond of marriage, stay with me forever until we grow old and die together. Please.
Can I switch seats?
Yeah.
我155斤，这个机器有这个3级履带锁死的功能，就完全可以防滑，一点安全隐患都没有。看到吗？帅不帅？
Is it on the TikTok shop yet?
You're not in reality, you're inside a projection. You know, consciousness doesn't exist in the three-dimensional world, it creates the three-dimensional world. So what you see, hear, touch, and experience isn't where consciousness lives, it's what consciousness is projecting. So consciousness doesn't reside in the body, it created the body and gave it countless senses so that you would get so immersed in the experience that it was indistinguishable from reality. In fact, the illusion becomes the reality. What you perceive as individual objects are the manifestation of a singular eternal consciousness that is not subject to the same laws of the reality it created.
They are. Well, how do you know that this timeline is being manipulated? How do you know that? And who do you think is doing it?
There is a researcher, Michael Cremo, who wrote a book with a guy called Richard Thompson. Thompson's a PhD in, I forget which scientific field. The book was called Forbidden Archaeology. It's a tome. It's about this thick. It's in the same general area, same general vein of research as Graham Hancock and Robert Bauval and Robert Schoch, people who study deep history, you know, prehistory, archaeological remains from prehistory that challenge our accepted views of the historical timeline, right? Except Cremo and Thompson's work in Forbidden Archaeology is more radical insofar as they go through the history of scientific journals back into the 1800s, and they show how many discoveries there were, reported by very prestigious publications, of clearly engineered structures and artificial objects stuck in geological strata that are millions of years old. Like polished concrete walls in a stratum that dates to, I don't know, 200 million years ago. Or gold chains, jewelry that's at a stratum, geological stratum of 60 million years ago. There are tens and tens of these discoveries that they present in this book that were in prominent scientific journals, and then slowly in the 20th century were filtered out of what it was acceptable to publish, given what became the standard human history taught in the academies. Mm-hmm. So there are a couple of different ways you could look at that. One is you could imagine that even though there's not much of a fossil record for it, humanity goes back hundreds of millions of years on this planet. I doubt that very much. Because again, there isn't a fossil record for it. We find dinosaur bones all the time. We don't find large populations of humans that are contemporaneous with, you know, the Jurassic period. The other way that you could interpret those findings, though, is that human time travelers, on a very limited basis, were living in those epochs and left artifacts behind. So that's one piece of one line of empirical evidence that you could use to argue for time travel.
So you're saying that this could have been happening in the 1800s?
No. What I'm saying is that up to the 1800s, these things were reported on in scientific journals, right? Like up to the 1800s, you had like, I don't know, Smithsonian Institution and whatever, reporting on a gold locket found in a geological stratum that dates to 60 million BC, right? There are lots of these finds.
But we don't know about those anymore.
We have those journals. We have access to those journals.
We still have access to
Absolutely.
The journals.
My point is, Cremo and Thompson, they wrote this tome, Forbidden Archaeology, where they go through all of this evidence. They present case after case. And
They have their own interpretation of what this means, okay? Because they come from a kind of Vedantic, yeah, that's the book. They come from a kind of Vedantic background. They subscribe to form of Vedic religion. And in the Hindu religion, there is the notion that there are these vast cycles of time. They call them yugas, the ages, right? And we're in the last of them now, supposedly the Kali Yuga. But the whole cycle begins with the Satya Yuga, the golden age, and then it goes to a silver age. And the Greeks had the same thing, silver age, bronze age, until you get to our present time, which is supposed to be the last of the world ages. And this whole cycle then repeats itself.
You got first class, second class, and straight up no class ticket.
Oh, well, look what we found in the pickles. Now, what is that? Please tell me, what is it? Oh my God. You gotta pay attention to what we eating, people. This is crazy.
Hello? 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 Alexa, stop! What the f? Who? What the f? Who does that? How is that even a thing? What the f?
Talking about government hiding things, this one's creepy. There's this thing called Operation Often. It was within MK Ultra. It was hidden from the majority of government until 1975 to 77. The FBI director basically destroyed all evidence of MK Ultra. In December of 2024, they just released 1,200 documents. It gave more light to this thing called Operation Often. Operation Often was a joint U.S. Army and CIA project launched in the late 1960s. They went full in on hiring Satanists, witches, to study and see if they could weaponize the paranormal. This is not made up. These documents came out saying that they were doing this. There are even reports that this program had files on spiritual possessions, poltergeist activity, and demonic entities.
Bro.
This is the U.S. government saying, like, let's research this and see if we can weaponize it. This was at the height of the Cold War. They're just trying to figure out anything to weaponize.
They're looking at spirituality as like a science to be harnessed.
Because they know it's real. People think black magic, witchcraft, all this stuff is baloney. But I'm like, if the government, they've been looking, now they're like, now we're going to conduct a study on it.
It just makes it that much creepier because the supernatural world is real. Demons are real. Our government was actively inviting that stuff in. It's just dark, you know? That's why we need Jesus.
Have you seen my baby? She's not a dame nor a lady. Not in the way she walks, the way she talks, or the way she loves me. Just look at me. I'm like a monkey in a coconut tree. You know I'm overjoyed, 'cause boy, oh boy, she's my gal. She asks me when I say let's go out dancing. Your place or mine, don't waste my time with romancing.
Looks like a cinnamon roll can kill you. The trust in that tree is crazy.
I unlocked some sort of superpower on that day. I stopped my vehicle, put the window down and say, hey, buddy, do you want a lift? Something compelled me to pick him up. So a big smile and he runs over and gets into the car. Reaches into his pocket. My internal spider sense is not triggered here, and he pulls out this big dagger, curved. It had a double tip, and I just smile and say, you're not going to try and kill me with that, are you? And he's like, no, I'm not going to kill you. I carry this when I'm traveling on this road in case I come across any demons or evil spirits. And he chuckles to himself and puts it away. As we come to a stop, he opens the door, his foot hits the ground, and his face changes. Going from smiling, he'd be like all serious. And then he says, Chris, I felt it in my heart. It wasn't loud, but it was loud. He was like, Chris, may God bless you many times this day. And then like that, his face just snapped out of it, and he's like, thank you, thanks. And he closed the door, and I drove off. A few hours later, 5 terrorists attacked the Dusit D2 hotel complex. From the moment I dropped that man off, everything was perfect.
How many people did you save?
Allegedly, people say 700.
Japan just created universal artificial blood that works for all blood types, and it's purple. Scientists at Nara Medical University developed purple blood that eliminates the need for type matching. Whether you're A, B, or O, this artificial blood works on everyone instantly. Here's how they did it. They take hemoglobin from expired donated blood and wrap it in protective synthetic shells, creating virus-free artificial red blood cells that are actually safer than real blood. Regular blood lasts 42 days in the fridge. This artificial blood, 2 years at room temperature, 5 years refrigerated, that's 24 times longer. Think about the impact. Paramedics could carry universal blood that doesn't need refrigeration and works on anyone. No more people dying because the wrong blood type wasn't available during emergencies. They're in phase 2 human trials right now, testing up to 400 milliliter doses on volunteers. Phase 1 proved it's completely safe with only mild side effects. Commercial availability is targeted for 2030. This solves blood shortages, eliminates infection risk, and ends mismatched transfusion deaths. Japan will be the first country with commercial artificial blood. Emergency rooms, ambulances, and military medics worldwide could have instant access to life-saving blood that never expires. We're looking at saving millions of lives globally. The fact that it's purple makes it even more futuristic. In 6 years, this could be flowing through emergency rooms everywhere. Would you infuse this artificial blood in your system to save your life?
You want to know why you've been thrown outside? Because you don't have any batteries. But you creep me out. Yeah, you're not coming back in.
It sounds like it's saying, yep, I know.
Now, I want to understand why he would not release the Epstein files, why he would not tell us who Matthew Crooks was on the phone with. What is the answer, the practical answer for that? And Mark actually has something that I think is correct. He said that it is likely that he has come to a place where thinking that the public cannot handle the truth, that we can't handle it, that it would undo everything. Because what would you do? What would you actually do? And I'm leaving this as an open-ended question. If Trump got on stage and was like, actually, the entire world is a stage. Nothing is real. Your freedoms aren't real. You've been enslaved by lies. There's a global government that's running everything. We control the media. We control the textbooks. And you're essentially just a patient in a very long-running MK Ultra experiment. Oh, and also the elites worship Satan. And yeah, they've been in control of human trafficking. What would you do? Like literally, what would you do the next minute if he got on air and said all of that? If any president got on air and said all of that? It's a question. That's simply that. It is a question. And it's happening naturally, whether he says it or not. We recognize something has gone awry in every regard. We realize that these people are not making us healthier, whether it's with vaccines. It's for your health. The government wants to help. No, the government does not want to help. No, Bill Gates is not a good guy. No, if you are signed up to A Shot in the Dark, my series on the history of vaccines, it's terrifying when we get into birth control. We start talking about Bill Gates and his initiative in Africa. I know a lot of people from Africa watch this show. My goodness, what they were trying to tell the public. Hey, yeah, it's making people infertile. That's like a thing. That they were experimenting on people that were in insane asylums, women that were in insane asylums, because they were maybe awake to some of the evil that was happening at that time. I mean, it is dark. It is really dark what's been going on. And only the truth, truly, not to sound cheesy, but it is really only the truth that is going to free us from what's happening, which is why I love this next story. Michelle Pfeiffer, just out of nowhere from the top ropes, just came and slammed Bill Gates. It's amazing. And she made us aware of something that I wasn't aware of. So she launches this attack on him and says that he is going to contaminate America's food supply. So I had not heard about this at all. She took to Instagram on Thursday to essentially express to people that she was produce. It's fine if it has a coating of appeal on it. Do you trust Bill Gates? And so Bill Gates, by the way, they came out and said, we have nothing to do with appeal. Yeah, they do. They were the founding money behind the company. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation gave a $100,000 grant in 2012 to the entrepreneur James Rogers to build up this product. What is a quote unquote Microsoft exec? Okay, that is the reality of who Bill Gates is. And it seems like he will stop at nothing. Okay, Bill Gates gives me the creeps. Can't wait to get to him and speak about him and Epstein when we go through our series. People that have traditionally never wanted to help you and are willing to lie and have the power to have the media lie on their behalf. And essentially that's what they're doing with Michelle Pfeiffer right now. They're trying to gaslight her. Like, he had nothing to do with that. Bill Gates was that founding capital for them. Venture capitalist Andreessen Horowitz is also behind it. And you should absolutely be concerned about what is in our water and what is in our food, because you're not a conspiracy theorist to recognize that they've been poisoning us. They've just been poisoning us. What is Monsanto? Why are some things in America that is allowed, the products and the chemicals are allowed to be put in our food, banned when you go to Europe? What is America? America is a colony where we are just being experimented on in all types of ways, psychologically, physically, because there are sick and evil people in the world. And I believe, like I said, you can add this to the list of conspiracy theories I speak about on the show, that these people would like to thin the herd. They don't want us having children. They're behind the feminist movement, the origins of the feminist movement. It is the same people. They're in our food.
That is just the coolest thing I've seen.
I wish I had a hard stop, but
No, that's awesome, man.
my hydraulic brakes are in here.
Okay, that's cool, dude.
They need some work. I can throw them back on. So I got regenerative braking, but it's not
That's awesome,
strong.
man.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, it's an electric rig, so it's a lithium iron phosphate battery that goes to a motor controller that goes to a 2,000 watt motor, and then I just run a chain from the motor to the back wheel, and it gets the job done.
Pretty simple, huh? What made you build it?
I need transportation.
Transportation, of course.
I'm a student down here, so I don't have a car down here.
Someone get this man a scholarship. For the next clip, something went down in 1977 and there was no AI. So fake or real? Let me know in the comments.
Based on one man, one vote. But, he says, there are conditions. These include stopping the execution of all captured prisoners of war, allowing European stakeholders in negotiations, being arrested. In Australia, Mr. Perry Packer's cricketers are still pleading for yesterday's High Court decision, which did ban on them playing in Test matches.
This is the voice of Allah, representative of the Epstein Galactic Command, speaking to you. For many years you have seen us as lights in the skies. We speak to you now to send us same as we have done to your brothers and sisters all over this, your planet Earth. We come to warn you of the destiny of your race and your world, so that you may communicate to your fellow beings the course you must take to avoid the disaster which threatens your world and the beings on other worlds around you. This is in order that you may share in a great awakening as the planet passes into a new age of Aquarius. The new age can be a time of great peace and evolution for your race, but only if your rulers are made aware of the new forces that can overshadow their judgments. Be still now, and listen, for your chance may not come again. All your weapons of evil must be removed. The time for conflict is now past, and the race of which you are a part may proceed to the higher stages of its evolution if you show yourselves worthy to do this. You have but a short time to learn to live together in peace and goodwill. Small groups all over the planet are learning this, and exist to pass on the light of the dawning new age to you all. You are free to accept the protection of those who learn to live.
Many go as wide as this. Then they run out.
Spiritual evolution. Here now, the voice of Vrillon, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. Be aware also that there are many false habits and guides at present operating on your world. They will suck your energy from you, the energy you call money, and will put it to evil ends, giving you worthless toss in return. But your divine self protect you from this. You must be utterly sensitive to the voice within that can tell you what is true and what is learn to listen to the voice of truth which is within you. It's such a lead yourself. This is our message.
I really appreciate understand that we can't I insist so delicious, full of only really choice ingredients. I can cats have 9 lives.
Have no fear. Keep on knowing yourself and just come with the race of your planet Earth. Receive the Ashtar Galactic Command, thanking your attention. We are now leaving the planes of your existence. May you be blessed by the supreme love and truth of.
And that's a wrap for today, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash that subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.